MW, 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 WMW, must we? Mink Walt, mundane wishes, motion witness, mod waistcoat, mud wrestling, more Worcestershire, masked windfall, much waste, most wanted, mill worker, money wallet, most wicked, male witch, mump melts, meat, well... Mr. Wind, Manwich, Mr. Wizard, Miss Wisconsin, Mike Watt, Mary Worth, Morning Wood, Milk White, Minwax, Marital Weeping, Making Whoopee, Mallwort, Mysterious Ways, Matching Wardrobe, Man, Woman, Magic Wand, Midwest, Modern World, Mustn't Worry, Monkeywrench. Hello, welcome to the second annual Monkeywrench radio broadcast. The last time we did this was 3 years ago. And again, it's live from our hideout in Seattle. My name's Ed and I will be your host. Let's go, play some records. Sonic Youth first. Okay, kiddies. Some band called Pearl Jam is going to play a live set for your spontaneous listening enjoyment. Since I am in that band, I guess I'm going to have to move into the next room. I'll leave you with a song called The Noise of Carpet by Stereolab. There's a new song.
It's a song called Evolution.
Oh, you can make it. Us and a few friends here. How's everybody doing out there? Got the lights out, the lights on. What are you lighting? You're lighting the candles, matches, smokes. You know what I'm referring to. Mic starts. The crowd's getting bigger. Two people, man.
This next song is Wish List. As soon as Ed gets his shit together, we're going to do it.
Okay, I've got my shit together now. Or actually, we'll see. All right, back to my records. All right, well, you're stuck with me still. It's just this one man. I'm back in this little room here, and I'm surrounded by records. Can I tell you what that last one was? That was Palehead, which is a guy named Al Jorgensen, who you might have heard play with Ministry, and a guy named Ian MacKaye you might have heard play with Fugazi, you might have heard him play with Minor Threat, or you might have heard him play with Teen Idols, or any number of things. You might hear that they run a label called Discord out of DC. And anything you get on Discord, I can pretty much... They'll pretty much guarantee your money's worth. Anyways, speaking of records, the next one is going to be by a band who's from this town. Everyone who's playing tonight is from this town, and you know, no one flew in for this or anything, but quite an assembly of people out in the next room. Kind of exciting to see what happens here. But these guys couldn't make it because they're playing a show not too far away, 5 blocks or so. But it's their last show. They're calling it quits and taking control of their lives. So this goes out to them. Congratulations on going out in a ball of fire. This song is by them called Bath of Fire, and it's the Presidents of the United States of America.
First G-force, beyond in the same form and shape that he might be.
Injury as a matter of course, not only to his own children.
The canyon belongs to me and brought it about. And I just hope and pray that it'll be handled in the right light and the right manner so that I'll have a chance through my safety programs to set the youth straight in this country that might think by letting it all hang out they'll be rich tomorrow, because they won't be.
Okay, Evil, whatever you say. I'm going to play something that is yet to be released. I don't think it comes out for another couple weeks. I'm not really sure even how I got this copy. But I'm hoping that the woman who recorded it doesn't get upset with me because I imagined she'd write a song about it, and well, I hope she does. Songs are good in the world. The more, the merrier. This is something by Ani DeFranco, and I think it has something to do with fire or fuel. Okay, have a listen. Go, Annie. All right, there she goes. Like the words. I kind of said Annie right before the song. I meant Ani. I said it right once, and then the second time I said it wrong. Maybe two reasons. There's this friend named Annie who I've been hanging out with the last couple of days, and that might be one reason. The other is I might be a little nervous. You know, there's potentially millions of people getting this broadcast. We hope that's the idea. It's just a big pirate radio kind of setup here. If you don't, if you haven't picked up on that yet, but through the graciousness of the local stations, they're kind of picking up our satellite feed. So thank you for letting us have this time, radio folks. Hopefully we're having, you're enjoying the music as well. You know, it's amazing, like Ani, you know, it's like Yanni without the Y. So isn't it amazing how just one letter can make the difference between, you know, a good song and a awful one? And speaking of good songs and good words, if you can figure them out, there's a band here. Last time we did this, I got to play their single. I think I played a one called West Seattle Acid Party. But here tonight, they're in the flesh, and they're in the next room, and it's loud, and I'm going to actually run in and watch them. Four guys from Seattle, four letters in the name of the band. First letter is Z. The name of the band is Zeke, and they're going to play now. All right, then. Band number 2, Zeke. Band number 3 has some pieces to pick up, I'm afraid. Excellent. You should see him live. Here's a record. This is Sleater Kinney, the first song, the title track, Dig Me Out, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, it's Saturday night. And here's the news. It's Saturday night, and on Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m., a bomb exploded in a women's health care clinic in Birmingham, Alabama. Reports confirm that one person is dead. Now, we've played you some nice music and a spoonful of sugar. I hope you can sit and listen to this because I think it's important. Now, last week, America celebrated 25 years of legal abortion. This bombing is yet another example of the violent tactics that opponents of choice who have been unable to overturn Roe v. Wade are willing to employ to intimidate patients and to scare doctors and clinic workers from providing essential services. Now, since 1995, I have this little sheet here in front of me telling me this. Since 1995, there have been 34 different bombing and arson attacks at clinics. Now, clinics not only provide abortion services and counseling, they provide family planning and contraceptive services as well. So when terrorists bomb clinics, women are denied the very services that reduce the need for abortion. This is where we see a glaring contradiction. Why are anti-choice opponents fighting legislative measures supporting contraception and sex education? Now, Gloria Steinem, who is the president of something called Voters for Choice, and a longtime champion for human rights and the rights of women, stated that the murderous bomb blast in Birmingham continues the right-wing terrorist campaign against women's reproductive freedom. Clinic bombing in nearby Atlanta remains unsolved, and attacks on abortion clinics now average one a month. If this were another country, we would be condemning violations of these egregious violations of human rights, why is there such silence about terrorism? Why, I don't need to say this right, why is there such silence about terrorism against American women? So Gloria's with us on the phone from New York. It's late there, and I'm going to turn it over to her for a few minutes. She's got something to say. Gloria, you there?
Yep, I'm right here.
All right, you go.
Okay, thanks, Eddie. You know, I just called Birmingham again, and there's still no arrest. And besides killing the guard, the bomb nearly killed a nurse on her way to work. Emily Lyons is alive after 10 hours on the operating table, but she probably won't have the use of her leg or the sight in one eye. The truth is that, like other bombs used in anti-abortion terrorism, this one was very powerful and packed with nails. In other words, it was designed to maim and kill, not just to destroy property. So there's the question you were asking. How could someone kill in the name of opposing killing? Well, the same way that many who oppose abortion support the death penalty and military adventures. I think the point is less what is done to them, I mean the point from their point of view, than who has the power to do it. If the state has the power, that's okay. If the individual has the power, that's subversive and sinful and wrong. In Congress, for instance, 185 anti-abortion members also voted 100% against contraception and family planning programs that would have diminished the need for abortion. So I think the truth is that they oppose the right to reproductive and sexual freedom. But I don't want to depress all the good folks out there, because there really is good news, and it is the 25th anniversary of a Supreme Court ruling called Roe v. Wade, and it did give each woman the right to decide with her physician whether or not to have an abortion as part of the constitutional right to privacy. Before that decision, which is a time I remember all too well, at least 5,000 women and girls died every year from illegal abortions, and that doesn't count all those who were injured or rendered sterile. Thanks to years of marching in the streets and courageous campaigning by men as well as women, but especially by the women's movement, we now have the right, as do women in most democracies, to make this personal and private decision without government interference. And, you know, the truth is that Roe v. Wade has probably saved the life and health and safety and peace of mind of more women of all ages, of every race and every class, than any other event in this country's history, and the majority of Americans very much support it. But you young women and young men who are out there listening need to know that your right to reproductive freedom is being weakened, and it could very easily be lost. The anti-choice campaign targets those who have the least political power, the young and the poor. For instance, 35 states deny Medicaid funding for the abortions of poor women, and that forces them either into compulsory pregnancy, because that's what's funded, or cheap and dangerous alternatives. 39 states have parental notification and consent laws for women under 18. This is really targeting the young. That means if you can't tell your parents, or in some states get permission from a judge, as if that were easier, you can't get a safe and legal abortion. You're not your own person. You're the legal possession of your parents or of the state. For instance, 3 months ago in Alabama, where this clinic just got bombed, there was a sex party where older men invited teenage girls and gave them the drug Rafi. When one 15-year-old girl found herself pregnant as a result, she killed herself rather than tell her parents. A second survived a suicide attempt before finding an abortion clinic that would help her confront a judge. Meanwhile, Alabama is supposed to provide funding for abortions in cases of rape or incest, but it has yet to do so in one single case. So, whether or not you yourself would choose an abortion, if you want to preserve reproductive freedom for everybody, go to your local clinic and offer to join defense vigils or become a patient escort. And if you don't know the clinic nearest you, there's a national hotline you can call, 1-800-772-9100. I'll give it again at the end. And if you're a medical student by any chance, make sure you learn simple and safe abortion procedures. Most of all, vote for candidates who support reproductive freedom for all women, whatever party they come from. And I mean for all women, the poor and the young too. And no matter who you are, speak out against violence. I think rock music stands for freedom, and you can too.
All right. Gloria, thanks for staying up and thanks for the information.
Okay, thank you. Shall I give that hotline number again?
Please do.
Okay, it's 1-800-772-9100. And you can find your local clinic, and they can also help you if you don't have money for an abortion, or if you're in a state where there's parental consent laws, maybe they can help you.
Gloria, thanks again. Good night.
Okay, good night.
We're going to continue on here, and a little bit shaken up, but we're going to pull it together. And the song that you heard before we went into this was After Zeke, was a song called Dig Me Out, and it's I mentioned it by Sleater Kinney. Now the fine woman singing that song is actually sitting right next to us here, and she's going to share a few words and a few songs with you as well. And her name's Corinne Tucker.
That's right.
And we've just met today, and but I've do you know I saw you guys at the Moore? You opened for John Spencer and.
Oh really? You were there?
Yeah. I think you even mentioned the guy that flew off the balcony, and I was thinking, yeah, that was me. But super. I was kind of talking about that show for a long time, so it's nice to meet you, and I'm excited to hear you tell us what you got in your hands there.
Well, I brought along with me this 7-inch that my band just put out with this organization called Free to Fight. And what Free to Fight is a group that teaches self-defense to women and young girls and gives them tools to do things to protect themselves, either verbally or physically. This 7-inch is a series that is talking about different areas of self-defense. And this is the first one in the series that we're on. But before this, there was a record that actually has instructions for girls who want to learn about self-defense and want to learn about fighting for their own rights every day. So what I'm going to do now is play the 7-inch and give a listen to that, and then we'll talk some more.
With respect ourselves. Sometimes when we talk about violence and self-defense, we think that because we're all women, we've had the same experiences with abuse. It's true that being women and girls gives us some really important commonalities, but it's also true that among any group of women or girls, there are some really important differences. Our racial, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds, our class backgrounds, our sexuality, our age, our abilities, are all examples of things that affect how we experience violence and which resources we have available to us to deal with the violence. Acknowledging these differences is respect. Being allies for all individuals and communities who experience hate, oppression, and violence is self-defense.
All right, we're back.
We're back after a rough intro into that. But that is a 7-inch that that's from Free to Fight. And now we're going to listen to a track from the record, the first Free to Fight record, and it's about yelling, and it teaches some information about actually stuff you can do if you feel threatened, using your voice and using your body in ways that gives you power is what Free to Fight is all about. And having fun and playing rock music too.
Yeah, yelling, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Shall we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Good. Again. 1, 2, 3.
What's up? This is the 151 coming at y'all real for the 9-4. This is about real defense. The best defense is yourself. So peep these lyrics. So many stories and problems with relationships these days.
Hey,
Battered women pray and fellas rest.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to go back to the yelling bit again.
That's okay.
I kind of missed
It's that tricky turntable.
Our voice.
Okay, there we
Okay,
go.
now we're going to talk about different verbal strategies. Our voice is a weapon. We can use our voice to yell, to say no. We can use our voice to confront someone who's bothering us, to make a scene, or to talk our way out of a really scary situation. Yelling is great because it keeps us breathing. It also attracts attention to our situation, and it sometimes can freak an attacker out enough so that he'll just leave us alone. On the count of 3, we're going to breathe in and yell no as loud as we can. And remember to breathe in from your belly and yell from your belly instead of from your throat. 1, 2, 3. No! Good. Again. 1, 2, 3.
That's it.
And I've never seen this record before. Again, the name?
It's called Free to Fight, and it's available from Candy Ass Records. And you can get that information by writing to Candy Ass and mail ordering it. Their address is P.O. Box 42382, Portland, Oregon 97242. And I have some other information if you want to know more about domestic violence, or if you have questions. There's a domestic violence hotline you can call at 1-800-562-6025.
Excellent.
Yeah. And now we should
And it
listen to
comes
more
with
music.
a comes with a book too.
Yeah, the record, the full length comes with a cool booklet that has lots of pictures and drawings and stuff in it by girls and women.
Yeah, this is great. I can't believe I've never seen this. Okay, we're going to go back to one more recorded song, and I can see that in the next room, ready to play live, is Mudhoney, so stay tuned for them and enjoy this next number. Again, no commercials here. Okay, that was The Need, and with no further ado, from Seattle is the band Mudhoney. All right. I'm looking to see if they're going to put their guitars back on. No, they're done. That's Mudhoney. Blessed to have them here, in my humble opinion. Here's a song.
Friday, 3:09 p.m. Hey, it's really great to be here. It's Matt Lucan. Hey, anyway, Eddie, I was calling to, well, whatever, say hi and ask you a question or two. I wanted to make a date with you, actually, for one of the shows, one of the days in Hawaii, the 21st of February. The Dutch national team is playing the U.S. national team for an international friendly, and I think it's on the 21st, but we should fucking, maybe if there's not too much leisure activity going on, maybe look up and fucking hang out, find a place that's going to be airing it, and whatever. I don't know if it's even what it's going to be on. It may be on fucking ESPN 2 or something that it's impossible to fucking find. But anyway, the time difference, too, it'll probably be on anywhere from 6 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, which is good. It won't be affected by the gig. But, nonetheless, I'll have to get up early or something. Maybe you can go surfing or whatever before and then watch it later. I don't know. Anyway, dude, give me a call about that. I want to fucking, I want to see if you're up for it. But if not, I'll fucking be out on my own looking for something, somewhere to see it. But anyway, Whitaker said that you were gonna fucking wanted to run by some info on me also on that fucking radio hoopla. Dude, you don't need to fucking tell me nothing. Fucking know what it's like. I did it last time. I'm sure it'll be fucking just about as same as it was before. Anyway, go in, play 3 fucking songs, big fucking deal, huh? Yeah, if you got something else going on, whatever, dude, fucking fill me in. I'm just sitting over here, being busy. Been meaning to call you for a couple days, but I keep forgetting. But now that I got the fucking energy to do it, better fill up your machine. Oh, I got a message from Ross the other day, too. He keeps calling. He must not have a fucking clock or know how to tell time. He keeps calling, leaving messages at like 4 in the morning, wondering why we're not around. Anyway, guy, I'll have to fucking give you his number if you don't have it anymore, so you can fucking ring him before you get to Australia or something and see if he's got time to come out for the show. Anyway, I'm going. Bye.
Matt Lucan. The record you heard before, Mr. Lucan, was on the Super Electro label, and it was a song called Sandy, and it's a cover song, I believe. I'll find out more in a second. But it's by the group Wellwater Conspiracy, which John McBain is in, as well as Mr. Matt Cameron, whose name you might recognize. And Super Electro, that would be... actually, I'm talking to Steve, Mr. Steve Turner from Mudhoney, and that happens to be your label.
Yes, it does.
And is there something else? Actually, you're kind of... well, you and Mark, you guys should probably be the ones spinning records. Kind of...
Anybody can spin records.
Well, actually, yeah, anybody can. But I think you'd really know the good stuff. I might be even just skimming the surface, but I think it might be good. You know, I think it's stuff that people can handle. But if we were going into the history of music, and let's say Seattle music, you'd bring up. Well, one night we were over at the house, and you played me the Sonics, which you know, I was aware of them, but wasn't aware of how good they were.
Yeah, they're I guess like when you grow up in Seattle, like you guess like if you get into like punk rock or rock and roll, you immediately are also turned on to the Sonics somehow. Because as soon as I knew about the Clash, I also knew about the Sonics, and I don't know why that really was the case, but I did. You know, like there's just so much great '60s rock and roll from this area that's like so gnarly.
And to think I was stuck on the Who. I mean,
yeah, it's a local thing here. You know, there's the Wailers, there's the Sonics, the Ventures are from up here. You know, Paul Revere and the Raiders.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
The love flows on. And this song, we're gonna play the Sonics right now, and the song's gonna be "He's Waiting."
Yes, sir.
Who would that be?
That would be Satan is Waiting.
All right, so that was 1965. We're talking.
Yes, sir.
And that was their second record.
Yeah, from the Sonics boom.
So I was when I was being born, they were in the studio making their first record.
Pretty much, yeah. Me too.
All right, so up to the fast forward to what, last week, because now we're going to play something off a record that's yet to be released.
Yeah, the Kent 3.
And that's again on Super Electro. If you want to track it down, ask your local mom and pop or
it's gonna be
large retailer.
It's going to be called Peasant Music by the Kent 3.
And this track would be called?
DJ New.
All right, and then after we hear that, it looks like our band's going to play again, which is that band called Pearl Jam. So we're into the hour 2 of this Monkeywrench festival here, live in the hideout here, and looks like it's going to go for. We're shooting for 12 o'clock West Coast. So if you guys can stay up or set your tape players, there's a lot of. I don't think you want to miss what's coming up. So after we play, we continue. So stay tuned. This again is the Kent 3 and
DJ New.
There it is. Okay, then here we go. Brandon J. Okay, this one's dedicated to everybody here tonight. It's called In Hiding. All right, Soundgarden. That was you. That was you. HIV Baby, that's a rare kind of release there, because that was something called the Sub Pop Singles Club, where you'd give them a certain amount of money every year, and every month, just like a magazine, they'd send you a single. And this, I think, was quite a rare one. And I think Sub Pop just started doing that again, so if you have any interest, I'm sure you can check into it. Now, there's a guy named Peter Buck, and he's setting up to play something live for you. And but sitting next to me is Mr. Chris Novoselic. And
hi, Eddie.
Hi.
It's great to be back.
Yeah, that's
Monkeywrench
right.
Radio.
That's right.
Wow. Thanks for having me.
It's been a long year.
Yeah. 1997, 6. When was that? 95. Something like that.
It feels like one long year ago.
Yeah, it's one long year. Yeah.
But you've got maybe some words for us. What you been up to?
Well, God, what have I been doing? Well, I've been doing Jam Pack a lot. I've been mostly doing Jam Pack, finding some legislation here in Washington State. Been working on Amped Radio, probably the coolest, well, almost the coolest radio show in the world after Monkeywrench Radio. And so if you want to hear Amped Radio, call your program director at your station. Say, we want Amped Radio.
So that's something. Amped Radio is it's different than pirate radio because it's something that you put together. Is it a half-hour show?
Yeah, it's like a half-hour show. It's like a news magazine. It's really cool. It's like music and information, and if you're not careful, you might learn something. I noticed that Jack on his drum set, he has this garbage can lid as like a symbol, and that reminded me of the Fat Albert Band. And yeah, I'm doing that. I'm working on a film. I'm doing a film, and that's what I brought by here. I brought the film is kind of bitter and irresponsible, but in the end, it's about personal triumph over adverse conditions. So, in the end of the film, the devil kind of lays it all out, and I'd like to read something from it. So maybe I'll get cooking on that right now. Ceremonies and traditions are important to preserve structure. Structure is important to the collective. On the surface, we interact through the structures of speech and other social connections. Underneath, there is an interaction, an essential connection we all share, unspoken. This is the realm where the spirit of music dwells, among other spirits, all connected through the thread of love. Art and commerce, the struggle continues. The emotional response to tones and rhythms is an experience that is uniquely human. I've never seen a monkey hand jive. Then again, monkeys don't put value on sticks and stones. Oh, the struggle between emotion and cash. Don't you know necessity wins over tears? You've got to keep the plate on the table no matter how bad you feel. Songs make us laugh and songs make us cry, but that stuff ain't got no place on the bottom line. And by the way, speaking of lines, we signed on the dotted one. If we want to talk about a fair shake, remember what the guys say. Shake it more than 3 times and you're playing with it. Shake it enough, who knows what you'll spill. Spill your guts on my doorstep and I'll wipe my feet on your format. Art versus commerce, emotion versus cash. Essentially, flesh versus spirit. Everyone is looking for the new Messiah. It's always been that way. Just remember, for every Jesus there is a Paul selling you what you want to hear. Let us now take a moment before we give out the pink slips and bow our heads in prayer. O Messiah, new on the scene, at the start our favorite flavor, at the end a bitter taste, unclean. Of course we chew you up then spit you out. You must have heard this one before, but swimming up the mainstream has always been a chore. It's a weight the new Messiah carries, a shiny, shiny jewel. It's a rich bag full of spice, girls. It's where the boys who write the songs rule. The market and the stage, since when were they the same? What does the barker say? What does the player play? The trinket or the tune, a lot holds them apart. One fits in your pocket, the other in your heart. These days it gets real fuzzy. It's hard to make out what's clear when you've got to choose between the merchant or the balladeer. Amen. It's been almost 4 years since Golgotha. Paul morphed into the Holy Roman Empire fast. That's the information age for you. After Peter walked into Città Roma, they made his bones into candlestick holders. Apostle swag at Planet Vatican. Judas drags corpses across check stands. Truth is all Greek to King James. The revival tent draws a crowd 2,000 light years after the fact, and the testimonies and baptisms are projected on screen. The film holds some water, but not enough to break God's law. The Holy Romans say the sun goes around the earth. You better believe it or they'll burn you bad. Ask Galileo. Good thing his agent was connected. At Kazantzaki's last temptation, Paul bum rushes the hippie-looking freak. Quote, I shall become your apostle whether you like it or not. I shall construct you and your life and your teachings and your crucifixion and resurrection just as I wish. Joseph the carpenter of Nazareth did not beget you. I begot you. I, Paul the scribe from Tarsus in Cilicia." Unquote. Judas Karaoke's old age while the Messiah goes uncredited. The charade will blast open upon the dirty lawyer's split nucleus. A shotgun can't cancel out an A-bomb. The fallout is still in orbit. And myself? I don't practice the religion about their Messiah. I practice the religion their Messiah practiced. My soul saves over 100% when it subscribes to liberation. Call now, 1-800-IAM-FREE. That number again, 1-800-IAM-FREE.
Okay, and in the next room, I can see him from here. A band with more people than any other band that's ever done this show to this point. I can see Peter Buck. I can see a guy named Skerrick who plays sax. There's quite a few. I'm going to have to find my list to name everybody, but a guy named Barrett playing drums. And as a collective, they're called Tuatara, and I hope you got your tape recorders going, because they're going to play for you right now. Now I can actually see what's going on in there, and at this point they're switching instruments. So there you have it. Tuatara. This is Chris Cornell singing a song on his own. All right, as I mentioned, that's our friend Chris Cornell playing. So we've covered Chris and Matt tonight, because we had Wellwater Conspiracy, and then there's a band called Hater, which Ben plays in. I think Matt has another band. I think Ben even has another band besides that, and Kim's doing good too. So say hello to those guys. And I heard, well, I got this guy Watt on the phone, Mike Watt. You there?
Yeah.
Hey.
Here, Chris and those cats. There's a devil dog too, or something.
I heard we lost Los Angeles down there.
Oh yeah. Airbrush.
Airbrushed out.
The crop. There's a crop, and it was right at the end. I got Brian Wilson. You know, that's I read that book. It's a trippy book.
I'm Brian.
Wouldn't it be nice? I guess Mike Love, when the cousins sued him for it, won in Connecticut. I was reading in the paper. But right after that song, all of a sudden there was a bunch of generic new wave. The plug got pulled.
I think, yeah.
Here.
Well, I was just thinking that, you know, it's a little hectic running around here between the live band speakers and collecting our thoughts to play the records. And then I was thinking it must be great to be a regular DJ, you know, who just sits back and plays records as opposed to all this other stuff. And, you know, they can just sit back and play whatever they want. And then I thought, but they can't. You know, those guys are on a playlist and all these...
See, Chris was saying that in his poem. He says, is it the players or is it the, you know, the danglers? And that art and commerce spiel thing, that guy, it was getting heavy, man. Those K-rockers were sweating under the collar there, man. And maybe the amens and stuff. I think it was, like I said, too much weight for the brains to take. And they yanked, I don't know.
Yeah, the words might have just been knocking out the satellites instead of bouncing off.
Yeah. It was great though, man, and to hear him. And I remember last time, yeah, he was talking with you too, man. He asked me to come up there, and he says there's a bunch of stuff. He's got this place by the border with Oregon there, and a lot of places need to be torn down with the Sawzall and some pry bars. He wants to build some new sheds and stuff out of the old houses. He says, come on, why for a week? He's down, man. And some Volkswagens, you know, he says, we take 3 dead ones, make 1 live one.
Yeah, destruct and reconstruct. That's actually how he thinks a lot. And
but he told me the band thing, he's out. It's kind of bumming him, the art and the commerce.
Yeah, art and commerce, it looks like, is... smothered Sweet 75 after just one record, a good record. I'm glad I got to see them maybe 6 or 7 times, I think, because they were playing with Hovercraft. So
some in L.A. at True.
That's right. We were down there.
Yeah.
Kira was down there. So, anyways,
guitar.
12-string.
Yeah, that was a trip.
No, Chris is something else.
And stuff, but you
what?
know, I think people just got to. I like the way he's just frank.
Yeah, that's. I think it's not allowed a lot of times, and apparently, you know, not in Los Angeles tonight, anyway.
Jive guys, you know, I got. It's a trip.
Well, hey, last time we were talking. No, you had a spiel.
Down the way it came down, like it just came down. It was Brian Wilson, and it was it. It was that
K-Rock.
No, man.
K-Rock. I'm sure they mean well somewhere, or someone at the station does.
Circle, you guys playing live too. It sounded good. It was pumping.
Oh, good. Well, that's our tribute to vinyl, which actually almost, well, we're trying to keep it mostly vinyl that we're playing tonight. But no, actually, last time that we spoke, you had a record out. That was last year. Well, it was a long year. It was actually 3 years ago, but it feels like a year.
It's a long year.
But in this long year, you've completed another, and I was thinking we'd play something off it. And you want to tell us the title of both the album and the track?
Yeah, it's a heavy thing for me. It's an opera about one day, 24 hours, and I made the tunes go around the day. And this is kind of early in the morning on the bike ride. It's kind of my route, but it has to do with these 3 guys on a boat. They're sailors, and it's kind of like. I got to thinking, I was a deckhand last year. A long year, maybe a year and a half. And it was a trip. And I started thinking, you know, I was on a bus for the first time. And
that was with, I know the band, but you didn't tell everybody.
Perk. And I was thinking a lot about the van. And the van just, I mean, that was a boat too. But the van was really seeming like a boat. And I got this book, The Sand Pebbles, which was me and D. Boone's favorite movie when we were kids. And the book is just so much intense. And so I got spurred on. I made this opera, and it was kind of a Valentine for people I've lost. My pop and D. Boone.
Yeah, I don't know how many people have gotten to hear it yet, but you know, I was even talking to, you know, I've been listening to it, and then I was kind of impressed to hear someone like this guy Dave Marsh, who listens to tons of records and knows music history like you know, like life, and he thought it was the best rock opera he'd heard, and you know, since you know,
it's very nice.
Since
yeah, I just
Mr. Townsend and all that, you know.
It's been like 12 years. I just wanted to make a piece. I wanted to integrate my thing. I've been pretty schizo a few years, all fragmented and stuff, and just to beat grout for the bathroom tiles, you know, the tub tiles somehow to get it. And use the day, because I think one life is made of many days. You know, the sun rises, the sun sets. So the week could be 9 days. It could be 5. Just, you know, why? But the day is real, I think. And but you go down, you're making the records now and after, and sometimes you just want something in you, and it was just circumstance that shoved it out of you. I tell you, I had to be a deckhand in a way.
That was with, yeah.
It was a trip.
Perry's band.
I was waiting for that, maybe, or something, and wearing those weird, funky, you know, dresses or wearing pajamas. And they're like sailor suits. I remember being a boy and seeing my daddy in Navy housing and wearing those suits. And then the hippies copied their pants with bell bottoms. And I just thought sailors had to have cojones to look like that. And then he told me they all had jobs. Like they wore the bib because they tarred their hair. And they wore the hat because the hat could be a bucket and they could bail water. And like they all had, and the bell bottoms was so you could, you know, get out and float. And it all had device and stuff, but Something about playing in that unit with them and the idea of him with his songs telling little stories, you know. And I thought, well, why don't I tell a big story, my story, a little bit? And that's the whole idea of the opera.
And this is this song comes in the 24 hours. This is we're talking the morning.
Yeah, in the morning. Well, see, most of the times I'm sitting there with the bass, and that's how I write the song. But this record I wrote all on the bike. I got one song all for the route of the bike where I rode. See, I'm lucky in Pedro. Like I say at the end, you know, I'm a lucky man. The geography, I don't know. But the cliffs, the boats, the pelicans, it's intense. And what I did, I just opened my eyes and let it all just fill. Like in this song, I call it eye gifts. And you just open them up and they just come right in a way. And all the rhythms, the waves, the pounders, you know, you do the surfing and stuff.
Yeah.
On the bike, you learn to listen, man.
Yeah.
You know? Different than the van. so this is where I was with this then. Yeah, it's a trip. So Pedro Bound.
Let's play this thing.
Sailor, my daddy, you got to understand, Navy housing right, or anybody who moves around right, your daddy gets the orders and you got to move. And this is about him getting the orders to move to Pedro. And it ends up being my home. This is going to be the last move. It was our 11th move. My mom said, forget this. No more moving. This is it. And it ended up my home. This is where I met D. Boone. This is where I was a Minuteman. This is my home. Now I'm a Pedro man. But, you know, I'm not really I was like a sailor in a way. And still touring and stuff. The whole thing just kind of dazzled me in a way that trying to make sense of it. But it's...
well, just like what Chris had written.
Vibrate, man, and I just feel really honest about doing this opera. I feel good about it, saying these things in a thing. And then with Hodges and Nels, making it was a trip for me. Because bass is like a rudder, man, you know? You cannot fill the sails with your own breath. You can try, I do.
It's a broom, it's a rudder.
You got a broom.
There's a bike.
You got rudders, you got oars.
With big wheels.
You got a deck, you know.
Okay, now I gotta get to this track because I got another band still ready to play, and but I should call you tomorrow and we'll keep talking. But I'm glad. I hope some folks out there were able to hear where Watt's coming from.
Thanks.
All right then. Shall we play this thing, Watt?
Yeah. Wind it up.
Okay, I'll call you later. All right, this is Pedro Bound. Okay, so you heard the story. That was the last stop for Watt. Pedro. Now, we didn't mean to get on K-Rock or anybody. We don't mean to get on anybody. If anybody's still carrying this thing on the air, we're still going. Brad's about to play. That would be my friend Stone and his friend Sean and Regan. They've done some touring, and I expect them to be good. And we're also going to give out a phone number, which I'll do right now. Or just in just a second, if you want to call in and say, hey, I don't know if you're sick of my voice by now. I'm getting there myself, but I just wanted to say, you know, if stations are pulling out, you know, I don't think this thing is kind of, you know, the ordinary thing, and you know, maybe there's people still out there on computers listening to it, or you know, tomato soup cans, you know, I don't know, but we're going to keep going. We got another hour. And we're going to play again, and right now we're going to go to, well, I promised you that number. If you want to give us a call, 206-343-8724, 343-8724. And while you're figuring that out, let's listen to Brad. That's it. Jeez. I never got to see him live. Dang, so that's what Stone's been doing his free time. Jesus Christ. Excellent. The other members of the band that I didn't mention were Mike Berg and Matt Brown, again with Regan Hagar, Sean Smith, and Mr. Stone Gossard. So kind of sounded like the record. Great. kind of blown away. I'll tell you, we gave out the incorrect number, and I have some more numbers for you. And I have to think if anyone's still up at the East Coast right now. Here's a toast to you. It's still water. I'm not gonna have a beer till right after we're done, and then I'm gonna have 19 of them. But speaking of numbers, 121-2387. 121-2387. No, that's not a phone number. So don't try calling. This number represents Tibetan deaths under Chinese occupation. 1-212-387. 1,212,387. If you want to call and talk about that or anything else, we do have this other number for you. It's 206-343-8565. That last one was wrong. This one is right. And Stone's going to come in and play a couple records for you, and then I'm going to say goodbye. So this is his first choice of songs, which is Hi-Fi Killers. He'll see you in a second here.
All right, this is Stone. I've come back to play a couple songs with Regan, who plays drums with Brad. We just had a really nice time playing some music. And this one actually goes out to a girl named Carrie Harrop, our good friend who works at Sub Pop, and she brought the single down, and it seemed fitting for tonight. I don't know why, but here we go. All right, that was Hot Chocolate, You Sexy Thing. Man, that was funky. Anyway, we're going to play something off a record that me and Regan have been listening to a lot lately. It's this Timbaland and Magoo record, and this song's getting played a lot on a lot of urban radio stations right now. But
it's good.
I doubt it's been played on K-Rock, and it might not even be playing on K-Rock now. But we're going to play it for you anyway. It's called Love to Love, and it's a record called Timbaland and Magoo. All right, that was Timbaland and Magoo. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Hi-Fi Killers too. The first song you guys heard after Brad played was Hi-Fi Killers, and that's a track off a new EP coming out, lo and behold, on Loose Groove Records. And I just wanted to thank Ed for putting this whole thing together. He's done a great job and brought a lot of great bands together. And Brad's very happy to be here. And let's see, we're going to listen to something else. It's off Super Duper Fly, Missy Elliott, and
Beat Me 911.
what is it?
Beat Me 911.
Beat Me 911. This is the same guys produced actually this track that you just heard a second ago, so we're kind of sticking with the same flavor. And here it comes. All right, that was Missy Elliott, and we got one more song to play for you, and this one is kind of a shout out for Mike McCready. This is a band called Ya-Ya's, and it's got some classic Seattle guys in it. Lance Mercer, who is a good friend and a photographer in Seattle, old school punker guy, and Eddie Hewlett's, who used to, what was Eddie's band again? Good God.
Silly Killers.
Silly Killers. With Slats, god damn, they're a genius band. Charlie Ryan, who used to play in the Human, and is another classic Seattle drummer, and Dan Kempthorne, who's plays with Green Apple Quickstep and is a fair guy. Let's see, this song is called Long Ways, and this one's for Mike McCready, a good friend of mine, and we'll see you all later. This is Brad kind of signing off now, and I think Pearl Jam's going to play one more song coming up pretty soon, and Ed's going to talk a little bit more. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
We're on now. Okay, this is our last number, folks. Thanks for coming to our world party. Settle down so we can get in space here. This is a quiet one. We're going to finish up. We got 5 minutes while I got a microphone. I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming and playing and drinking and laughing.
Throughout all history, humankind has had only one place to call home, our planet Earth. Beginning this year, 1998, men and women from 16 countries will build a foothold in the heavens. The International Space Station, with its vast expanses, scientists and engineers will actually set sail on an uncharted sea of limitless mystery and unlimited potential.
I've been so much happier ever since I joined the Legion of Doom. Who cares if Superman and his bunch always foil our evil schemes? Nobody ever really gets hurt, and we always get away at the last minute. Good doesn't really triumph over evil, it just postpones it. In the end, we're always the one who get to claim the last laugh, which is the whole point of being a supervillain in the first place, is because of the laughs. You don't know how much fun an evil laugh can be until you tried it. Everybody here at the Legion are the best laughers. We throw big catered parties and all the super bad guys come, and we crack jokes about Batman and Robin and just laugh like crazy. Everybody practices and perfects their own personal brand of evil laughter. There are so many possibilities. You can cackle, or chortle, or guffaw, or chuckle, or titter, or giggle, or snicker, or roar, or just snort. You can be ominous, or menacing. You can be bent, or you can be grim. You can be foreboding, or you can just be filled with sick laughter. You can just be sick. The possibilities are endless. There is nothing like the combined laughter of a dozen maniacal madmen. We have such great parties.
All right, well, thanks for coming to our party tonight. And a sincere thank you to any and all radio stations throughout the United States here that have carried it. We hope we did okay programming. You know, we took advantage of the freedom that you gave us to do whatever we wanted. So I'm actually just starting to have a pretty good time here. So you know, I don't know if I'm a villain. I don't know if I'm a good guy, but you know, we got this opportunity to make music, and there's a little attention that goes along with it, and we thought we'd spread the wealth a little bit. Yeah, let me think of a final thought here. What's been on my mind is the media attention. Maybe I'll go on a rant here. I've got a few minutes. It's kind of crazy, this thing about the president's penis, isn't it? You know, it's sexually intriguing, you know. I admit there might be a little interest there. But that's a little interest. And to see people like Peter Jennings and Cokie Roberts and people with college degrees going to waste talking about this kind of stuff. Theme songs to go with the latest presidential conflict, Clinton in crisis. I kind of don't, to be honest, I don't give a fuck about President Clinton. Not as a person. I mean, it's fine. Whatever happens, happens. There's, you know, just get down to business. All these guys are just arguing amongst themselves. This is my little rant again, without a college degree. But you know, campaign finance, get over it. Let's go. This stuff exposing these little kind of things. Get over it. We voted you in and give you all our tax money to take care of us. Get to work. Quit fighting amongst each other. Get to work. Well, that's pretty much my rant. Look, I think we're going to be touring this summer, so we'll see y'all out there. We might even bring our little pirate radio station, so if you're in the parking lot, you might be able to hear a few private words coming at you and do the same things, spinning records that maybe you wouldn't hear normally. Last year it was a 89.1. I imagine it might be the same. Good luck with that. Again, good luck to all the radio stations out there programming things that they want to program. Thanks again for playing us. And Yeah, I guess I should have wrote this down. See, I'm not that good at speeches. You should have remembered that from the Grammys. I guess it's just time to say goodnight. Thanks to all the bands, Tuatara, Brad, Zeke, Mudhoney, and I thank the guys in my band for letting me be the program director for the night. And even the people in here that helped, which is Harvey and Mitch and Sonny and man, you got guys in the satellite trucks, and it's been a good night. Can we take a phone call? Hello? Hello? Hi.
Who's this?
It's me.
Is this Mr. Letter?
Oh, here, I gotta put it down 1 second. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, this is Shannon from Des Plaines in Chicago.
Des Plaines, yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah? Well, I just wanted to say, well, you're great. I love your band.
Okay.
So, it's like, I've listened to all of your shows you've had, and I've taped them all. I thought they're great.
Wow. Man, thanks a lot. I'm impressed with your attention span. We really appreciate that. If it weren't for you, we couldn't do this kind of thing. And actually, I probably wouldn't even be able to surf and take time off and have the life that we get to have nowadays if it weren't for you. So I hope there's a good trade. I hope the music's all right.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, and good luck on, you know, the rest of your CD.
Okay, well, we like this one. I hope you do too. And we'll see you in Chicago this summer, yeah? Okay, see, I just promised him I'd take one call before the end of the night. If we go to the trouble. That's it, folks. See y'all out there. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. You know, the usual stuff. Love you. Bye.